Copenhagen will give you free food, drinks and activities if you act sustainably on your visit. That's the headline of a new project in the city of Copenhagen meant to promote sustainable tourism. So today we'll dive a little bit deeper than just the headline and see what this is really all about, what you can actually get and what you have to do, but also a little bit about the motivation and implication of it. Okay, so lately this pilot project made by wonderful Copenhagen, the official tourism organization of Copenhagen, has been getting a lot of media attention, especially from international media. Copenhagen to reward eco-friendly tourists with free food and tours is the headline from CNN. And that sounds awesome, but remember, this is a small little pilot project that only runs about a month from today, actually the 15th of July until August 11. But of course the hope is that it will be a big success and that they can continue and expand further down the line. But since it is like a small project, there's actually only 24 attractions involved in this project. And we'll have a look at exactly what these attractions are and what they offer a little bit later in the video. But if you are new here, my name is Adam and I'm a Copenhagen local and I make videos here on YouTube all about traveling and living in Copenhagen and Denmark. So if that sounds like an interest to you, then consider subscribing and sticking around. But going back to that headline from CNN, so what exactly is eco-friendly tourism? Well, according to this project, things like biking or taking public transportation is. In fact, these two activities are what will give you access to pretty much all of the rewards involved in this project. So you basically show up to one of the attractions, show a picture of your bicycle or your train ticket, and then you get the reward. It is like built on a bit of a trust basis because, I mean, you could just grab a picture of any bike on Google, I suppose. But my problem with this is that I think most tourists coming to Copenhagen already take a bicycle or public transportation to get around the city. And I mean, what about those who walk? Like renting a car in Copenhagen is just very expensive and very impractical and inconvenient. I think most people who actually rent a car when they go to Copenhagen do so they can visit places outside of Copenhagen as well. So like, are you really turning those few tourists who come to Copenhagen and rent a car towards renting a bicycle instead by offering them a free cup of coffee? I don't know. Don't get me wrong though, as I might already sound a little bit negative, doing something is of course often always better than doing nothing. Even though I personally might not think that this project will have like a huge environmental impact. Now I do want to question the motivation a little bit perhaps. As I mentioned, this project is made by wonderful Copenhagen, the official tourism organization of Copenhagen. And I mean, they have one goal: to get tourists to come to Copenhagen. And being a sustainable city is these days just a very hot term and something very attractive for tourists when they are picking their next destination. So let's just call this for what it really is. It's marketing. Now, can you market yourself while still doing something good? Sure, and I'm sure that's what they're going for here. I don't think that wonderful Copenhagen are just like evil or scheming. I do believe that they want to do better and want to do more good things for the environment here in Copenhagen. The problem is that in the big picture, your trip from, let's say, the US traveling here to Copenhagen, that's really what's gonna hurt the environment and not whether you choose a bicycle over a car or a taxi for traveling a few kilometers. And on wonderful Copenhagen's website, they actually have this like Q&A question here. So I'll just read this. So there's one of the questions they have is, how does CopenPay, oh yeah, the project is called CopenPay. I probably forgot to mention that. So how does CopenPay specifically contribute to reducing Copenhagen's carbon footprint? And the answer is CopenPay encourages the use of bicycles, public transportation and participation in environmental activities which collectively reduce the city's carbon emissions by promoting greener modes of transportation and waste reduction. However, the environmental burden of transportation to and from Copenhagen is much more significant than that of local transportation. Consequently, CopenPay is marketed only in Copenhagen to encourage both visitors and locals to make more sustainable choices. Okay, so at least they acknowledge this problem themselves. But I mean, we just saw CNN and other international news media cover this project. So like, could this project end up having the exact opposite effect of what they're actually trying to achieve? Like, if the attention and intention of this project will help bring just a few more tourists to Copenhagen, the project might end up being responsible for more CO2 emissions than they help reduce with the project. Now, probably those people who will visit Copenhagen would probably have gone somewhere else, but it's still an interesting thought, I think. Yeah, but let me know in the comments what you think. Like, does it even matter in the big picture? Is this a fantastic thing? Is it like a great start to something bigger? But anyway, let's head on inside and have a look at the exact attractions involved in this project. All right, let's have a look at all of the attractions included. So we head over to CopenPay.com, which will take us to this website right here. And of course, here we can also see just all the information and all what we need to know about using this system and how it works and all of that. But if we then scroll down here, we get a map of all of the attractions included, and we can also get them in list view. But let's start here with the map. And I won't look at all of them because a lot of them are very similar, so we can easily group them together a bit. But let's just start with this one here. This is the National Gallery of Denmark. This is actually a very nice museum that you should consider visiting. So they're a part of this project. And how they are a part of this project is that you can bring some plastic waste on a specific day in a specific time frame, and then you can be a part of a workshop where you then turn this plastic waste into some sort of art. I mean, this sounds like a pretty great activity, but of course, if you then start reading a little bit, then you will quickly find out, you'll see that in the bottom, that the workshop is open to all ages after purchasing entry to the museum. So, you still need to buy a ticket to get into the museum to do this. Okay, but let's move on. Here is a rooftop bar and terrace. And this can easily be grouped with the other cafes, restaurants that are also here on the list. And here the description is you just arrive by bike or public transportation and then you get a free drink. Again, I feel that people who are walking, which are probably most, are being left out a little bit because, that's probably the most environmentally friendly way to travel around the city. This is, of course, pretty nice. You get a free drink. A couple more museums to have a look at. The Museum of Copenhagen. Get a free cup of coffee when you purchase an entrance. The National Museum, which is an awesome museum, by the way, again, arrive sustainably and you will get a free ice cream. Now, I know that they have a little shop outside the museum, which could be where you get the ice cream, but it doesn't specifically mention because they also have a shop inside. So here it's a bit unclear if you actually need to go inside and purchase a ticket or if you can get the ice cream outside. And I just noticed actually up here on the how it works, they actually specifically mentioned that you can get a free entrance to a museum. I can't find that. None of the museums here on this list will get you a free entrance if you arrive sustainably. There's another one out here actually, Cisternerne, which is a really cool place out in Frederiksberg. Again, it's arrive sustainably, but here they also include foot traffic. And here you get a free introduction to an exhibit that they have down here. But if you then want to see it, then you have to purchase a ticket to get inside. Folkehuset Absalon is a really cool place that I always recommend. You can have awesome social dinners. It's a really cool place to visit. They have some special breakfasts that are in this project that are then extra cheap. They're all sold out by now. So now one of the cool ones actually here on this list is Go Boat. So it's these small little private boats that you can rent and then sail around the canals. It's really awesome and a great activity to do no matter what. And here you can get a free 1-hour boat tour. So now we're talking, right? That's a pretty good reward here for being sustainable. There are limited spots available though, and you do have to fill out this stuff here to get a spot, and it will probably sell out pretty fast. Speaking of boat tours, we also have this Strømmer. They do the more regular boat tours, the bigger boats that you often see sailing around the canals. Here you can also get a free boat tour. It's valid on, every day in the period the project runs at a specific time frame. And I just had a look around. It's almost sold out for all the days throughout the project. I think the last couple of days are still available. Then we also have Green Kayak, where you basically rent a kayak for free, and as payment you have to collect trash along the way. It's a super cool concept and thing to do, but I guess the thing is that's what they always do. It's the exact same concept they have outside of this project, but it's still very cool. Oh, and the last one I want to just mention is the Donkey Republic. Is those orange bikes you see everywhere that you can rent, and here you can get a free 45-minute ride if you pledge to green action. But yeah, that's about it. There's a couple more, but they really fall under the same buckets here. And really you just have to take a bicycle or use public transportation, and then you can get all of these free things. But in the end, I think this is really great marketing for the city of Copenhagen and for some of these businesses in particular. But is it really making a big difference? I don't know. Perhaps it will if this project continues to evolve. But I mean, we just have to remember there are no free things in life, right? I mean, if you get a free cup of coffee at a restaurant, it's because that if you go there, get a free coffee, they hope that you will stay and spend more money. But I don't think it's a bad thing that there's a focus on being more sustainable while traveling. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and thanks a lot for watching.